Hello everybody and welcome to the Ontario Speedmaster Season 3. This time we've been to Barcelona, Kyle Almy, Brands Hatch, Valencia, Silverstone, Laguna Seca, Spa, Francorchamps is where we're going to be going after the next week at Laguna Seca, and then Zandvoort to finish off the championship on December 17th. Free registration, top 3 drivers will be awarded trophies. Without any further delay, let's get into the session and take a look at what the drivers are going to get into. Apologize for the delay, but we are having a special event going on right now where we're having reverse qualifying order. So it's going to be reverse standings from the leaderboard. And of course, we have the leaderboard to show you, but we'll do that in just a few moments once the session gets underway and we have a little break in the action, because we have Lucas Ferrari leading over Carlos Yabut and Ronaldo Jr., Nilton Diaz, Johnny Nicholford, Marcos Martins, Balwea Isho, Benjamin Hyun, Corey McNulty, Laszlo Toth, Merlin Travail, Denver Abbott, Randall Zimmer, Deej Johnson, Wilson Ho, Leo Mora, Barack K, BK, Daniel Tran, Armando Fio, Dominic Schumann, and Cow Jr., who are all here in the championship leading us down the charge. We can take a look at the standings and the weather since we do have a full formation lap. Weather right now is going to be 19 degrees, 30 degrees Celsius, winds coming in from the west-southwest at 5.56 meters per second. Partly cloudy, light winds with occasional gusts and good visibility overall. Take a look at the championship standings very quickly. The top 5 drivers after round 5, the double drop round. Cal Jr. leads Philippe Cossette with 73 points. Dominic C, and then Armando Fio, and then Daniel Tran. We've got 3 BMWs leading the 1, 2, 3 right now, and then a Ferrari and a Mercedes. The lone driver of Daniel Tran holding on to that top 5 with the KFC team. After this, we'll take a look at the team standings very briefly, and hopefully we'll get a good overview of what the teams are all up to while we get this full formation lap in for the Silverstone Grand Prix. Top 5 teams are the Smash Brothers lead with 189 points, the Omega Racing Tryhard team with 154, TVP Racing with 145, the FAF Motorsports team with 142, the FAF Tuning team with 129. There's your top 5 right now, and this is obviously after round 4 going into round 5 after the double drop, so your 2 worst rounds have been dropped already. And now back to the action. We are going live and we will be going green here in just a few moments. Again, apologize for the delay for this reverse leaderboard standing session where Kyle Jr., Dominic Schumann, Armando Fio, and Daniel Tran all have to start from the back and work their way forward for this amazing event. But we've got Lucas Ferrari leading in P1, and then we've got Carlos Yabut and Ronaldo Jr., Nilton Diaz, Johnny Nicholford, Balwea Isho, all leading us down the charge right now. Looking at the rear wing of Lucas Ferrari for the Omega Racing team in the number 93. Balwea Isho, a fan favorite, driving the 234 Manthly EMA Porsche. And behind him, we have, I believe that's Benjamin Hyun in the number 38 FAF Motorsports car. Drivers all weaving their way backwards and forwards to generate some heat in their tires. And pulling up all of my information for the Silverstone Circuit, of course. Track length of 3.6 miles, 5.8 kilometers. Founded in 1948. It's been the current layout since 2020. Located in North Hampshire. And that's in England. 18 corners, 8 to the left, 10 to the right, with 30 feet of elevation change. And the drivers are all formed up 2 by 2 to get started for this wonderful race. Coming in through Woodcott now. And the drivers will be getting the green flag in just a moment. Green, green, green. Away we go. Lucas Ferrari has a big run. It looks like Milton Diaz might get a jump on Ronaldo Jr., but Jr. is holding on pretty sternly and fastly. And we've got Marcos Martins as well, holding on, trying to chop his way up through the grid. It looks like the blue BMW found his way through right away, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And we've got a lot of shaking and baking going on, and a couple cars going off at Maggots and Beckett's. It looks like Yabout was involved with Marcos Martins, and Martins falls down the order. He's going to have a reverse start to this grid, and he's going to start all the way at the back of the pack, working his way forward. Cal Jr., Corey McNulty, Deej Johnson, Benjamin Hyun, Merlin Travail. That's your grid from the backwards forwards. Nilton Diaz involved with an incident with, I believe that would be Denver Abat or Balwea Isho. I couldn't tell, but they got involved with a little bit of an incident. And now Ronaldo Jr. holds on to the second place. No, the first place of this race right now, as Lucas Ferrari seems to have slipped back, and he's now in second place overall. And then Yabout Balwea Isho is in fourth place overall for the Manthey EMA team. And that purple Porsche is looking better than ever right now for a shot at the podium, and working his way forward over Yabout around the outside at Village. He's going to be able to pinch him to the inside line. That number 10 does get pinched to the inside line, unable to make it move, and Balwea just absolutely swung on through like he was standing still. We got a three-way battle right now coming into the Wellington straight, and it's going to be a two-way battle. The 73 goes a little bit deep and wide, and that'll be Denver Abat going next to BK. No, BK has gone forward. That's Randall Zimmer in that orange Ferrari in the 141, trying to snake his way through and pinching Yabout Abat again. Wow! This is amazing side-by-side action coming through Love Field, and more touching and door banging between the two drivers. The 73 and the 141 have not lost any love for each other, and they're still banging it out. And we've got the 888 of Dominic Schumont chopping it up right now, trying to find his way through, but the battling duo, I don't think he wants to get involved just yet. The 888 now sticks his nose into the battle right next to the 141 of Randall Zimmer, working his way forward through the grid. Backing out of it is that 888 of Dominic Schumont. Doesn't want anything to do with it. But Leo Mora now in that number 30 has caught up to this pack and is working his way up through the grid. He is now 11th overall, and he has gained 5 positions. Dominic Schumont, though, chopping it up like a NASCAR driver, has gained 10 positions. BK has gained 11. Wilson Ho has gained 11. A lot of drivers gaining a few positions, and more than just a few. Quite a hefty amount of positions right here off the start. And boy, is it a kerfuffle, and this is the definition of kerfuffle. 3 do not go into 1, but 2 might go into 1 as the number 141 tries to battle it out with, looks like that would be BK and Johnny Nickelford. There is Johnny Nickelford in that number 20 Porsche, and he has been battling it out. And there's a big lunge from the 141, able to get through at Abbey, where he just absolutely plowed right through, barely even lifted off the throttle there, and kept that momentum going and used up all the track space that he's bought and paid for. Leo Mora trying to go the long way around, and he looks like he might get this one through, and it looks like Daniel Tran's getting the worst of this three-way battle. Let's take a look at Daniel Tran and what he's up to. Let's switch over to a helicam. There he goes up the inside, trying to get past Merlin Travail in the 208 McLaren. Can't find the daylight to make this move happen. Not just yet. More three-way battles, going on left, right, and center. That 888 of Dominic Schuman's fallen back away from the 141 and the number 10. The 141 finally gets the move done on that number 10, but the number 10 BMW might try to snap right back, and it looks like the number 10 is there with his teammate of Denver Abbott. The TVP teams going after it side by side, coming into Maggots, and then on the opportune line, the number 10 backs out, lets the 73 go through, but the 73 finds the grass and touches quite a bit of it, to be honest with you, and cuts all the way through Maggots and Beckett's to boot. Wowza, this has been an amazing and exciting start to this race. Let's check out this four-way battle in the background. Five-way battle now. We've got a DRS train unfolding. What about Wilson Ho chasing down Lucas Ferrari, trying to chop down a podium win for himself? Tries to go to the inside line of Club, but there is a existing Lucas Ferrari there. He might get passed by BK after all this, and coming through Club, BK is able to snap right on through, and he's able to get that position done and dusted. Balwea Isho, though, battling not for the third step of the podium, but now for the top step of the podium. The 2-3-4. Trying to find his way past Ronaldo Jr. We know we have a lot of Ronaldo Jr. fans in chat as well, but more Isho fans from what I could see. Team Isho reigning true, reigning hard. Cow Jr. involved in an incident with, it looks like, a few cars. The number 74, that's Corey McNulty, as well as Johnny Nickelford and Merlin Travail, all involved in incidences. See orange markers for them. We do have a mandatory pit stop for all of the drivers, some of them already taking them. Daniel Tran, Armando Fio, Marcos Martins, and Deej Johnson all deciding to take their pit stops. Just splashes and dashes for all the drivers, but Daniel Tran, the first of the pit stoppers so far. Randall Zimmer now into the pits, it seems like. Yes, Randall Zimmer into the pits, but let's check out Isho as he's chasing down Ronaldo Jr. for first place. Oh no, and Isho gets it all wrong at the entrance to Maggots and goes off at the entrance to Beggett. And he cannot get back on track where he started his challenge. But he's fallen down a few positions, and he's going to be holding on to 6th place now. Cheers for Johnny Nickelford as well in chat. Speaking of Nickelford, trying to make a move on Yaboot, but there at Stowe, backs out of it, coming back in. And through Vale, Johnny Nickelford is able to get the position done. Wilson Ho now chasing down Lucas Ferrari. The battle for the 3rd place on the podium step is coming to a bitter end. Lucas Ferrari trying to hold on to one of those podium positions, but not just yet. Oh, trying to go the long way around the outside of Village, but leaves the door wide open for Dominic Schumann to carry some speed through. Schumann is closing in. Ronaldo Jr. ended up getting passed by BK, up for the lead of the race. The number 9 leads over the number 13, then the 93 of Lucas Ferrari, Wilson Ho. Dominic Schumann closing the gap down behind. Let's take a look at this one. The number 31 chasing down the 930. Oh, almost touching there at the loop and on towards the Wellington Straight. The number 30 of Leo Mora is going to snap right back to get through on Laszlo Toth, and that might be a move done and dusted before we get to the end of the Wellington Straight. Up the inside at Brooklands, and Leo Mora is able to get the move completed well in advance. Check out Dominic Schumann chasing down Lucas Ferrari again for that podium position. Dominic Schumann has expressed quite a bit of hesitancy to get involved with some of these cheekier moves. I think he is expressing his patience right now and doing a good job of not finding any banana peels on the circuit and spinning out, but he's caught into a sandwich right now between that car out in front, the 93 and the 88, just absolutely giving him the squeeze. That 888 BMW has got to put the pedal to the metal, coming down the hangar straight and into the final corner. Into the next corner of Stowe, it looks like the 888 got pitched to the inside line to make sure that the door was not left open. Will the 888 go for a move up the inside right now? He's not quite close enough to Lucas Ferrari. Waiting for Lucas Ferrari to make any sort of mistake is Dominic Chumont lurking in the wings right now. Oea Isho just got passed by Cal Jr. Isho needs to take his pit stop now, find some clear air, and just drive on his own to gain some positions back sooner rather than later. Looks like Daniel Tran's able to put down 159s right now, compared to some of the other drivers who are caught in traffic doing 2 minutes plus. So Daniel Tran, watch out for him as he's going to pull out the undercut of a century. And there goes that 888 of Dominic Chumont trying to get through on Lucas Ferrari, but has to cut over there at the cutting to Wellington Straight. Wilson Ho finding a little bit of the aircraft tarmac and having to go a little bit wide there to keep in touch. But now we're looking at Denver Abbott getting chased down by Benjamin Hyun. Coming in through Love Field, turn 18. Lucas Ferrari does lose the position on the inside, goes Dominic Chumont through Woodcott, turn 19. And into Copps. Whoa, there goes a big drift out of Lucas Ferrari for the Omega Racing team. Manages to hold on at Copps, but just barely, losing out only time and some heat in the tires being generated after that big slide that he ended up having. Wilson Ho, the next component, trying to chase down Lucas Ferrari for a chance at a podium. There goes that 88 trying to make a move through on Lucas Ferrari, but Lucas Ferrari is having a defensive afternoon this evening. It's looking pretty neat and tidy. 28 minutes left to go. There goes Dominic Chumont trying to get around Ronaldo Jr., and he is able to do that with relative ease, faster than he was able to get around Lucas Ferrari earlier, and Dominic Chumont finds himself into second place overall, now 6.3 seconds behind BK. And let's see what they can do in some clear air. Checking out Benjamin Hyun chasing down Denver Abbott. This 38 car chases down the number 73 in front, coming in through Abbey. The Amora able to get around Laszlo Toth one more time as they inverted positions for 12th and 13th overall. We got a bit of a scuffle going on out in front. The 88 leads over the number 93. A little bit of door banging between the drivers, and now here comes Denver Abbott in that 73, almost making it a 3-wide situation, but not quite yet. Outside line turns into the inside line for the following corner, but the 93 spins out. That's Lucas Ferrari getting spun out in his McLaren. Oh no, Lucas Ferrari is driving a Ferrari now. Last week he was driving a McLaren, now he's in his aptly named vehicle. Glad to see it. And Cal Jr. chopping it up through the grid right now. 16 positions gained for BK, 18 positions gained for Dominic Chumont. And here goes Cal Jr. trying to get another one at the entrance to Maggots and Beckett's. Walking by Merlin Travail in that number 208. Daniel Tran holding on to the fastest lap of the race, which will be a 159.4. And he is blazing out there. Ronaldo Jr., no! Jr. was involved with an incident with Wilson Ho, and they're tumbling down the order right now. Wilson Ho is now into 6th place, and Ronaldo Jr. in 9th place. But that'll be good news for all the Isho fans, as Isho's found himself into the top 10, 9th place, but he's getting chased down by another fan favorite, the Pfaff Motorsports, number 20 of Johnny Nickelford. In through Farm Curve, things are single file line. Johnny Nickelford has fallen back by just a few tenths of a second, now 1.3 back. Cal Jr. makes his move on Denver Abbott, very cleanly is able to get back. And into Brooklyn's, it's single file line for Cal Jr. Denver Abbott lurking in the background in that number 73 blue BMW, the baby blue BMW, because Cal Jr. is also rocking the navy blue BMW, the number 29. Laszlo Toth going side by side with Corey McNulty, who just won off circuit, the number 74 Aston Martin Vantage. Trying to hold on to some grip and the circuit, unable to do so successfully, and this is going to allow Laszlo Toth a nice run through Woodcott, turn 19, and into Copps T1. Who holds on a little bit better? I think the Six Sigma racing car might be able to chase down in through Maggots and Beggots. That's where the Porsche will be advantageous over the big hefty AMR. Wilson Ho getting chased down by Benjamin Hyun. The 38 chases down the 88. Let's check out Isho as Isho is trying to get around Lucas Ferrari now up the inside of Stowe. Will he be able to hold on? It looks like the number 93 might give Isho a run for his money. A little bit of door banging there and into Vale turn 8 and Club turn 9. It's single file line. Lucas Ferrari leads over Isho, and Isho is on his way to making a good recovery drive. He was nestled into the top 3, and he's itching for another chance at the top 3 one more time. I'm sure he'll be pleased with any result that is better than the top 10. Oh, Isho with a big tank slapper, able to recover that, coming in through Village and the loop. Wilson Ho getting chased down by Benjamin Hyun, the 88 over the number 38, 5th and 6th place right now. Wilson Ho stretching his legs for Process Reality in the double 8 and gets a little bit of a gap formed over Benjamin Hyun and allowing Benjamin Hyun to get chased down by Merlin Travail behind. Balwea Isho is able to get through on Lucas Ferrari, quick fast in a hurry at Brooklands and into Lovefield. The 234 leads over the number 93. Leo Mora going side by side with Johnny Nickelford, the number 20, and the number 30 going after it, coming in through Woodcott now. They were just about side by side, and Johnny Nickelford trying to find a gap through on Leo Mora, but Leo found it first. Cal Jr. snaps away and is able to get the fastest lap of the race, a 159.2. Wilson Ho involved in an incident, it looks like. And he's tumbling down the order behind Merlin Travail right now. There goes the 74 up the inside line on Johnny Nickelford, the number 20. And it looks like that move will be done and dusted. Corey McNulty getting past Johnny Nickelford before the entrance to Club. Check out Benjamin Hyun very quickly for the Pfaff Motorsports team as he's shaking and baking, trying to get past Denver Abbott for P4. Isho gets a yellow flag waved. Looks like he's still okay and on circuit right now. A little bit of touching there between Denver Abbott and Benjamin Hyun, the 73 touching the 38. But all's fair in love and war. There goes the number 38 through on the number 73. Able to pull off a move of a century coming in towards turn 17 and 18 and now into Woodcott. Single file line for these drivers. Lucas Ferrari almost nip and tuck with the number 74 of Corey McNulty. But watch out for Balwea Isho. He's getting chased down by Leo Mora, and Leo Mora has had some pace all season long. Just had some inconsistent pit stops. ruin his races for him. I think he's had at least 2 disqualifications now, but he still has the pace to drive forward when it comes down to circuit racing. So the number 30 is working his way forward, trying to get past the 234. The 234 gets another tank slapper at Maggots and Beckett. And like I said earlier, Balwea Isho needs to find his way into the pits, get some clean air, and just drive his own race, hopefully sooner rather than later. He doesn't want to have to do too many of these recovery drives. There goes the 73 on Benjamin Hyun. And almost finding the daylight there, but all of this battling has allowed Merlin Travail to catch up. The 208 McLaren lurking in the background, and that'll be 2 TVP cars. No, a TVP car and a Smash Brothers vehicle. Got a bit of a train right now here. Wow, halfway through the race already. There goes Daniel Tran trying to get around Johnny Nickelford, is able to do so, and now gets passed through on Randall Zimmer, the 141. Here's Laszlo Toth getting past. I don't think that's Johnny Nickelford. That must be Leo Mora. But let's check out the battle for the lead of the race right now. BK and Dominic Schumont, the number 9 and the 888, going after it. Last lap around was a 2:01.8 for BK. Dominic Schumont with a 2-minute 0.3. So the time is definitely in Dominic Schumont's favor. Here's Denver Abbott, Merlin Travail, and Benjamin Hyun, who's leading the charge. Cow Jr. not too far away. He's only 4.4 seconds away from the battling duo in first place and second place. So if they have to be a little careful about how much time they want to lose. And there goes a move, a big look from the 888, but doesn't go for the leap around BK in the Pfaff Motorsports car. But the Smash Brothers team sure is making it work for himself. McNulty is looking good right now, says JT Skies. Corey McNulty sitting in 8th place, number 74. Here's Merlin Travail and the number 73 side by side. Ooh, coming into club. I thought he was going to crisscross applesauce and block off Merlin Travail's opportunity, but he stayed there on the racing line. Wiper blades are on, but it doesn't look like it is raining here tonight. Please don't forget to donate to Sick Kids in Need. The URL or the QR code is appearing in the bottom left-hand side of your screen in just a few moments. We are trying to reach our goal of $1,000 by the end of the season. And there goes a big late lunge from the number 88 on the 208. And the 208 gives a nice bump in the rump for good measure. And they both get spun around. The McLaren and the Ferrari collecting each other. That'll be Merlin Travail and Wilson Ho. This is going to allow Corey McNulty to gain some time. You can see him there in the background in that red, white, and blue Aston Martin Vantage. As I was saying, we're trying to raise $1,000 for the Sick Kids organizations, and we're not at our goal yet. I believe we've only raised $124, so all the help we could get is much appreciated. And of course, if you do enter Merlin Travail into the pits right now, and if you do donate, you'll be entered into a raffle automatically to get a sim rig sponsored by the Race GTING organization. One of 3 rigs that will be available. The 888 trying to go the long way around at Stowe. At least he's on the racing line, trying to get a switchback engaged, looking for the gap on the inside line. Couldn't find it. Now they're going to be nose to tail going into Vale and in through Club. The 888 has to back out of it. And it looks like there's a big mistake out of BK. Bit of a tank slapper for him, but the 888 had nowhere to go as the 9 was basically blocking the entire circuit. and unable to get through. Now, this is allowing Cal Jr. to catch up quite perfectly. You can see him there in the background. Only 2.4 seconds adrift. A moment ago, that was around 3.4 seconds. They're losing around a second and a half per lap. Cal Jr. could still be in the running to win this one. The Triple Eight looks to the inside line on the number 10 of BK. Can't find the daylight. Deej Johnson trying to get through on Lucas Ferrari up the inside line at Stowe. Stowe goes off for Lucas Ferrari, and that Deej Johnson vehicle, the Pfaff Motorsports 221, is able to get through. Stop go 30 for Denver Abbott. I believe that would be for speeding in the pit lane. Yes, that would be. And Abbott not getting the mandatory stop completed, must not have taken 1 liter of fuel. And Lucas Ferrari limping that car around in 14th place. Dominic Chamont decides to come into the pits a little bit early now. Well, I think it's a little bit late, I should say, because he's got to contend with lap traffic when he comes out of the pit stop now. He's going to come out into a mess of traffic, I could only imagine. Keeping an eye on those times when they do start trickling in for the drivers. Because we'll have to keep an eye on where Daniel Tran is as well. And Daniel Tran still the first of the pit stoppers with a 159.4 being his best lap. He's lapping at 2:08. So basically, Daniel Tran could inherit the lead of this race based on Dominic Chumont's position in second place right behind BK. Let's take a look at that battle for the lead right now. Actually, let's snap back to the battle with Daniel Tran trying to get around Laszlo Toth. Laszlo Toth not in this race right now of Daniel Tran's race in the KFC team because Daniel Tran has already taken his pit stop and Laszlo Toth has not. So not really moving out of the way, still fighting for position overall, but allowing Daniel Tran to make his way through the grid. And Randall Zimmer trailing behind has already taken his pit stop also. Randall Zimmer in the running for a podium spot as well. There goes Randall Zimmer on the number 31 of Laszlo Toth. And right before the loop, Cal Jr. now into the pits. This will be very telling where Cal will come out. Let's see how long this pit stop of Junior's will be. Oh, Corey McNulty getting passed by Leo Mora. McNulty into the pits though, and pitting out from that battle. It'll be close now. There's Cal Jr. There's Daniel Tran able to get past Cal in the pit stops. Holy Toledo, that early pit stop really paid off for Daniel Tran as he's able to find so much clean air that he's now got a hefty lead and a few cars in between himself and Cal Jr. Daniel Tran chopping it up, positions gained left, right, and center. Everything going forward will be major gains for Daniel Tran. BK has gained 16 overall, but by the end of it, Daniel Tran might have gained 14, 15, 16, 17 positions from where he started. He started off in 18th position overall and could potentially be in P1 by the end of this race. Dominic Chinot resuming the battle with Cal Jr., but behind Cal Jr. This is huge for McNulty's race. He's forced to have a drive-through penalty, presumably for speeding in the pit lane. Gotta say, everybody, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for joining us for the Omega Speedmasters. The Omega Sim Racing, the Speedmasters, I should say. And please do not forget to donate to the Sick Kids Foundation. The QR code will appear in the bottom left-hand side of your screen very shortly. We're trying to reach our goal of $1,000 by the end of the championship, and hopefully we can do that in just a few weeks' time. A lot of pit stops coming out. BK's pit stop, Benjamin Hyun's pit stop, Cal Jr. taking his pit stop as well. Laszlo Toth battling it out with Marcos Martins. Marcos Martins has had a podium finish for himself at Brands Hatch, trying to go for another one here. He started early up in the grid, if I'm not mistaken. Marcos Martins started off 6th in the grid, and now he's in 5th overall. So gaining 1 after all things are said and done. Up the inside, it's Stowe able to get through on Laszlo Toth, and the double 8 of Dominic Schumann also trying to get through on Laszlo Toth. And there is Cal Jr. now behind Laszlo Toth, forcing him into a bit of a sandwich. And now it looks like Jr. backs out of it, allows Laszlo Toth to breathe for just another day. But Cal Jr. wants to get through to resume the battle with Dominic Schumann in that 888 BMW. BMW on BMW crimes about to commence. There it is. Cal Jr. goes through on Laszlo Toth. And now Porsche on Porsche and BMW on BMW. BK chopping it up, gets through on Laszlo Toth, but gets cut off at Village. Late on the brakes there, and Laszlo is back through. BK able to get by through on Laszlo Toth. The number 9 leads the number 31. A 888 behind the number 51 of Marcos Martins, now able to get through in just a few moments. Doing good at the entrance to Cops. Dominic Schumann in the 888, now in 3rd place overall. Just 4.6 behind Randall Zimmer. Daniel Tran, last lap being a 2-minute 0.6. Randall Zimmer with a 2-minute 0.5. Daniel Tran is in 1st place. Randall Zimmer in 2nd. Dominic Schumann in 3rd. Marcos Martins in 4th. Cal Jr., BK, Laszlo Toth, Deeds Johnson, Benjamin Hyun, and Wilson Ho. And that's your top 10 right now for the standings of this race. Emerson, thank you very much for the good wishes. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much for being here. Big hugs to you as well. I wish I knew a little bit more Portuguese, that way I could say thank you, but my Duolingo account is not caught up to speed yet. Still brushing up on my Portuguese little by little through the Duolingo account. That way I can speak to all the Brazilian fans here at the Omega Sim Racing team and all the fans of the Ontario Speedmasters. Randall Zimmer has caught back up to Daniel Tran. Just 0.4 of a gap separating the two of them. 201.3 for Daniel Tran, 201.0 for Randall Zimmer. Cal Jr. is caught up to Marcos Martins as well, still holding on to the fastest lap of the race with a 1:59.2. He's going about 1.6 faster a lap over Marcos Martins, but of course, we all know in GT racing, catching is one thing, passing is a whole nother ball game. Especially when you're in equal machinery and just as wide as your opponent as well. The entrance towards club is closed off. Marcos Martin closing that door in that 51, but outside line turns to the inside line. Cow trying to find his way through on that number 51 through club, but can't keep his nose there on the inside. And it looks like the 51 drifted a little bit wide. So Marcos Martins holds on for another position, just a few more moments over Cow Jr. Battle for the lead. Randall Zimmer chasing down Daniel Tran. The battle between the 52 and the 141 rages on. Randall Zimmer for the Zoomers team chasing down Daniel Tran as best as possible with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this race. Working their way from the back to the front, Daniel Tran has gained 17 positions. Randall Zimmer has gained 11. Dominic Chumant's gained 17. Same thing for Cal Jr. Marcos Martin's gained 1. BK has gained 11. Laszlo Toth has gained 3. Deej Johnson's up 6. Benjamin Hyun's down 1. Wilson Ho's up 5. Leo Mora's up 5. Down from Merlin Travail is 1. Corey McNulty down 4. Balwea Isho down 7. Johnny Nickelford's down 10. Lucas Ferrari into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty, or no, that mandatory, excuse me. Ronaldo Jr. down 14, Nilton Diaz down 14, and Armando Fio right where he started in 19th position. And this is going to shake up the standings quite a bit. Here comes Wilson Ho around Benjamin Hyun, at least trying to get something done at Cops, but can't find a way through. And everybody knows you don't stick a wheel up the inside at Cops. Four minutes remaining on the clock, everybody. Based on where the leader is right now, looks like we'll get this lap plus one more. Potentially two more, actually, as it's pretty close right now as to when the driver will get to the race line. Might get a second bonus lap in for Randall Zimmer to battle it out with Daniel Tran for the lead of this race. The 88 chasing down the number 38 of Benjamin Hyun in 9th place. Looking for some championship points as much as possible. Two and a half minutes remaining, everybody. Laszlo Toth into pits to serve his mandatory, finally getting that one cleared. Daniel Tran over Randall Zimmer, Dominic Chumant, Cow Jr., Marcos Martins, BK, Deej Johnson, Wilson Ho, Benjamin Hyun, and Leo Mora into your top 10. Dominic Chumant now caught up to Randall Zimmer. Again, the times are for Daniel Tran last lap around 201.1, 201.1 for Randall Zimmer. Dominic Chumant with a 2-minute flat. And Dominic taking that late pit stop. He'll be on the fresh tires and going through on the 141 right now as we speak. Able to get through, but outside line now at the loop. The 141 might be able to snap back and give a little bit of a run down the Wellington straight. And now it's going to be tucked into the slipstream. The 888 dips out very quickly there. But that 141 is still presently alongside. The move's not done and dusted yet. There goes Dominic Chumont in that 888 trying to snatch back a lead. And there he is through finally at Lovefield. And through Woodcott. It's going to be P2 for Dominic Chumont with 51 seconds remaining. This will be the final lap of the race finally, as Daniel Tran leads over Dominic Chumont and Randall Zimmer, Kyle Jr., Marcos Martins. There's your top five. Daniel Tran over Chumont. This might be done and dusted by the end of this one. 1.5 second gap is a lot of time to make up on one of the race leaders, especially a guy like Daniel Tran, who has some tremendous pace to him. And the lap times are not going in Chumont's favor. 2:06 for Daniel Tran, 2:06 for Chumont as well, 2:02 for Randall Zimmer. He can't be disappointed with himself for finding a podium tonight. Big places gained. Dominic Chumont, though, being the biggest winner in 18 positions gained so far, but it's not over yet. The fat lady is not singing. Anything could happen into the final last corners, barring any mistakes from Daniel Tran. But it looks like through Brooklyn's Lovefield and Woodcott, it's going to be it. Daniel Tran is going to lead this one to the checkered flag. And there it is. That's a big fat win for Daniel Tran. The number 52 leads over the 888 and the 141 and the 29. Amazing drive out of Daniel Tran, Dominic Chumont, and Randall Zimmer for their podium. Cow Jr., tremendous drive as well, gaining 17 positions overall in P4. Marcos Martins gaining 1 position into P5 for himself. BK with 11 positions gained, started off in 17th, now finishing in 6th. Deej Johnson's going to cross the line in 7th position, gaining 7 for himself. Wilson Ho, the double eight, Ferrari for Processed Reality in 8th place. Benjamin Hyun, the number 38, will bring it home in 9th place. Leo Mora, the number 30, bringing it home into the top 10. Merlin Travail, the next across the line, is going to be in the 208, and he's 11th place overall. Laszlo Toth, the number 31, in 12th position. Corey McNulty, the number 74, bringing it home, and he's going to be in 13th position. Balwea Isho, and the number 234, is going to be in 14th position. Johnny Nickelford, the number 20, in 15th position. Lucas Ferrari crossing the line in 16th place. Ronaldo Jr. in 17th position overall. Milton Diaz into the pit lane for the final time. Or he was into the pit lane almost in that 9:30, and he's going to cross the line in 18th place. And it'll be Armando Fio to cross the line last, and that'll be 19th position for him. Not able to get the championship points that he really wanted to get tonight. And driving right next to him should be Johnny Nickelford. And they both crossed the line. Thank you so much for a wonderful stream, everybody. Thank you very much for a wonderful event. Good racing all around. I do want to advertise the Sick Kids charity. Let's see if we can get the advert to start rolling for us. Sim Racing for Sick Kids. Don't forget to donate to help sick kids all across North America. Your support will help save lives, give for faster healing, and it'll help support faster diagnosis for children. Help us help kids, everybody. We could really use the help. We're at $124. We're trying to get to a goal of $1,000 raised. And once we reach that goal of fueling hope everywhere, we can officially raffle off one of 3 sim rigs that there will be able to give. There will be a link for the Sick Kids donation in the QR code right after this advert, Mr. Gunshire. I really appreciate it. We want to give kids a fighting chance whenever possible. Donate to the Sick Kids Foundation. Donate today for a healthier tomorrow. And there is the QR code on your screen right now. And if you go ahead and scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to the Sick Kids Foundation donation page where you can donate directly to the foundation. No middleman, no PayPal fees, none of that nonsense. The money is going straight to a great cause. Of course, there will be that raffle sponsored by Race GTING for a simulator rig, and once we reach that goal of $1,000, we will be able to raffle off one of those wonderful sim rigs for you to choose from.